Hello you beautiful peeps, my name is John, welcome to my channel. RLAARLO AM-X12 Part 3 Differentials. Let's get on. Okay, I'm going to assume that you need to get into both the front and the rear differentials. If you need to just get into one of them, you still have to take off the top deck because it's sort of holding the differential down at the front there. So basically, to start with, this is the top deck here. You need to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws.
Today you should think about subscribing to Colin and John's RC YouTube channel.
Top deck comes off now and out of the way, which is very good indeed. It's usually at this point that I take this part out. You don't need to, but I found that if you don't, then it just goes flying at some point and then you end up looking for it. But I am actually going to lift this up just to see what's going on inside. A little bit of grease in there. They've obviously intended for that to be greased, but I'll just put that back for now. Okay, let's just work on the front. Basically, if you look all the way down there, have a look. There is 1, 2 screws down there, bolt screws that you need to get to. So just lift up this arm here out of the way and that will give you access to it. There is a bearing at the bottom of that for the on the steering column, and there is one at the top. Keep that in mind. Make sure that they are there when you put it back. So there is one screw that needs to come off, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All of those are the same size, which is very helpful. Now, some of you may have seen me on the WL toys. I take off the shock and the tie rods, etc, etc, but I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible just now. So I'm hoping that we can get up and in here. Take note of where the actual differential is, like the big bearing, or sorry, the big gear here is facing away from you, so keep that in mind. I need to take off one of these tie rods or else I won't be able to get it out due to the drive shafts. So I'm just going to take off this one on this side. And hopefully that'll give me the play I need, because as you see, that now releases that. And we should be able to lift out the differential. Oops, daisy. Come on. There we go. Also note that the anti-roll bar sort of gets in the way on this model, but that, remember to sort of flick it back into position. You can see I've already been in here because it's got my white lithium grease in here. I love the stuff. And to be clear, make sure it's white lithium grease and not just lithium grease. Because the other lithium greases are for different purposes. The reason that we use white is because it can be used on plastics, metal, etc, etc. And since I've swapped over to white lithium grease, I've had 0 differential failures. 0. Get rid of the white lithium grease. You see that we've got the 4 bolts there that have to come out. Now, once you lift this off, you see that there is actually grease in this one, unlike the WL toys. But I am going to be putting white lithium grease in here, so I am going to show you how to do this. Firstly, clean off all of the old grease, or at least as much of it as you can. Doesn't have to be 100%. On some differentials, There isn't a screw here. This just sits on a pin that has a sort of, a center part that has a pin going through it that sits on, but the smaller models have this screw here. Very difficult to get off, so I'm not going to take it off. If you need to take it off, use a lot of heat to loosen the thread lock first, and then obviously take it off. So inside here, you can see what you have, and I'll just show you how it all works. It's pretty cool, isn't it? All I'm doing is turning the bottom of this, and when that one's on top like that, you see as I turn one side, it causes the other side to turn. So it's just, I mean, that is essentially what a differential does. I'm just gonna get my white lithium grease, which I keep on meaning to reorder, and I keep on forgetting. Make sure that you mix it up very well, very important. Let me bring you down. So in here, take it out. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you exactly how it all goes back into position. That exposure is very, very bright right now, but I'm not going to change it because it's just because of the white paper towels. In some differentials, next to these cone gears, there is a small washer or shim, as you can see here. So be aware of that. Don't go throwing it into the bin. Been there, been fishing, got the certificate. Just giving them just a bit of a wipe. Doesn't need to be 100% white lithium grease, seems to mix very well with all types of greases. There we go. So we have 4 cone gears, 4 washers or shims, and 2 of the cross members. So first thing you do is put a little bit of white lithium grease in the bottom, like so. Do not be tempted to push everything straight down because you will have problems making sure that everything meshes properly. Take a look on these, see that there's gashes taken out of them. They need to sit on top of each other, sorry, like so. So that's how they sit. If they sit like this, your differential will no longer work, which is why you need to do this part very, very carefully. So the lower one obviously has to go with the gash facing upwards, and then the upper one goes across like so. So we'll do the lower one first. 1 cone gear and 1 washer, shim, 1 cone gear, 1 washer, shim. So if you see on here, you've got the screw holes, and then the actual cross goes like that in between the screw holes. So like so, and I need to make sure that it is facing upwards and not push it down too far. See that? So that is now facing upwards. So we'll get the second one ready, and this needs to face down. You see how that is now sitting very nicely. Right at this point, you can see that they've meshed nicely in together. So it's at this point, just make sure that your cone gears are as far over to the side as they can be, that you can push it down, and then you get that squidgy up effect. Now line up the holes for the diffs, he says, being able to see. Like so. Yum. Do not be tempted to turn this at this point. If you were to turn it, you're just going to knock it all out of position again, and that is no good. Really? I thought it was lined up. I'm just checking to see where the hole is. There we go. Do not tighten these up too much. You can in fact tighten them so much that they're pushing all of the gears together, which again is no good. You'll just have to undo them all. And always tighten them up 1, 2, 3, 4 to spread the load. I've not tightened that first one up very much at all. I'm not cleaning this grease away because obviously I need grease on the inside anyway, so. Just like that. It's that simple. Don't rush it. Take your time. So getting this in is going to be a bit difficult because obviously we need to make sure that this CVD drive shaft on this side is in. To make that job a little bit easier, I'm going to take off this tie rod here like I did on the other side that just releases the CVD joint drive shaft. So now I've got to do two things. One, I need to make sure that the anti-roll bar here is in the correct position. And two, I need to make sure that this differential casing is underneath the steering here, as you see. So, and of course I need to make sure that the differential is in fact in there. So remember, big gear away from me, put it in, place it into position. It's at this point that I will point out as well. See the bearings here, 1, 2 bearings have to be in those positions at the front because then everything will mesh properly. I am going to put a little bit more of my white lithium grease. Let's get that out of the way. Not the easiest thing to do. There we go. Right, so anti-roll bar is in position, you see that, and at the rear the casing is in position as well. So I am now confident in putting the 6 screws back in. Very nice. So now remember, you need your bearing there and there's a bearing at the top. Like so. And then on this side, ooh, get that out of the way. I need to make sure that this bar is in the cup there. So the CVD into the differential cup. Come on. There you go. See how that's now in position there, which means that I can now put this tie rod back on. Then the same on this side. Oops, sorry, resting on the microphone there. That probably wasn't very pleasant. There we go. Nice. So, first things first, when I turn this wheel, that one should turn the opposite way, which it does, and then when I drive these forward, these should be forward, which means that I did put the big gear in the right position. So that is the front now done. So onto the rear. Now on the rear, same process. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that need to come undone. Six screws, they're exactly the same as the ones at the front, which is very good. I am going to take off the tie rod here and here just so that we can get the dog bone drive shaft out of the way. Come straight out. Then lift this up. You see that you've got the 2 bearings that we just talked about at the front. Make sure that they're in position when you put it back, and then the big gear is facing away from you. Come on. I've just shown you this one at the front. It's exactly the same that it is at the other end, so I will just skip through this part.
Some time later.
Welcome back. So, big gear away from me, and I've made sure that both of the bearings are in position. Just making sure that the anti-roll bar is over that. Come on, there we go. Nice. 6 screws back in. Excellent. Okay, so drive shaft here, dog bone, into the diff cup all the way in there, and into the wheel cup there. Come on. Nice. Tie rod clicked back into position. Nice little touches on this car, isn't there? Also take note, ladies and gents, I've beaten my car up a lot, and these donk bones and CVD joints are not bent at all. Excellent, clicked in. So once again, I turn the wheel one way and it goes the opposite way, and front wheel's down, which means that it's going in the right direction. So let me just turn that around now. Make sure that both that cover and this little plastic cover there holding the bearing in is still in position. Then this cover back over. I'm going to put the 2 larger bolts in there and on the 2 steering columns first. And then the 4 smaller ones in, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it, ladies and gents. It's that simple. Sounds quite nice, doesn't it? Okay, please join me for the next part in the series. It is steering and the associated problems with the steering, what can go wrong and how you would fix it. But for now, I think we are done. So please hit that subscribe button. It takes me a long time to do these videos. It's much appreciated. Hit that like button. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.